Hey everybody, and welcome back to Mr. Martin's Science Corner. So today, I am very excited to share an experiment that I did in 4th grade down at Madrona Elementary School, which is very near to Lashai. So this is a pretty simple experiment. It's going to take a few days, but we're going to set it up today. So what we need for this one, just 3 things. A jar, vinegar, which your parents might have in their kitchen or in their cleaning supplies or something like that, and an egg. And so as always, make sure you ask your parents if it's okay to use an egg and vinegar and a jar. So what are we going to do here? Well, first let's talk about an egg, and what do we know about an egg? So we're all probably somewhat familiar with an egg. We know that it has a hard shell, which is brittle, which means it breaks pretty easily. And then inside, it has 2 kind of main parts. It has the yolk, which is the yellow part, and it has the white, which is the clear part, and it turns white when you cook it. And so most of the eggs that we at least eat come from chickens. So birds, of course, have eggs. Most reptiles have eggs. Most fish have eggs. And then other things like mammals, like us, we have eggs that are inside us. So pretty much all animals have eggs of some sort, but it depends on what type of animal they are, if they lay them or if they keep them inside. So what are we going to do with this egg? Well, we're actually going to try to get rid of the shell without breaking the egg. So how are we going to do that? Well, we are going to use the vinegar. And so vinegar is an acid. And you might have heard of acids. You probably heard of acids. But acids can be really dangerous, so it's important to be careful with strong acids especially. Vinegar is not a particularly strong acid, so it's okay if it gets on your hands or something, but that's why it can be used as a cleaning product. So all we're going to do is gently put the egg into your jar. And so a jar about this size, so that it covers the egg well, but isn't too big, is probably about the best size. And then we're just going to pour the vinegar in until the egg is covered. And the egg might float a bit, and that's okay, because it'll all still work. And so we're just going to leave this for a few days. It's going to probably take at least a couple of days, and then we'll check back in with it in a couple of days and talk about what we saw. So while your egg is sitting around, it's best if you keep the lid off of the jar. So don't need the lid for this one. You can smell the vinegar. Well, remember we practiced the wafting smell in class. So you can waft the vinegar scent into your nose. And so you can smell that it's a little bit of a strong smell. So if you can put this sort of near a window or somewhere that has some airflow, maybe that'd be best, but not necessary. It's not super strong. But again, it's best to keep the lid off. If you do keep the lid on, then you might just want to open it up every day or so, because the vinegar is actually reacting with the shell, and it's producing some gas that we just want to let out into the rest of the air, so it's not stuck in there. All right, so we're going to leave this for a couple days, and then we will see what happens and talk about what we find. A couple things as the vinegar is doing its thing on the egg. A couple things to watch are look at the size of the egg. See if maybe it changes size at all. When it's in a jar, you can see that the egg actually looks bigger than it is, and that's because of the round jar, and it makes it look bigger. So if you if you have a flat jar, that might even be better. But so look at the size, and then also look at what's going on the shell. So right away we can see bubbles, and that's a sign that there's a reaction going on of some sort. So we'll talk about that next time, or when we check back in with the egg in a couple of days. All right. So as always, feel free to email me, mrmartinsciencecorner@gmail.com. You can comment on the video, or if you're in Mr. Longo's class or Miss Bomani's class, I am there in Class Dojo, so you can message me there as well. And make sure you subscribe, because we will have a few videos coming up in the next couple of days. All right, I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.